Alrighty guys, we're back for Lowball Mono Black Aggro. This is a Murders at Karlov Manor Standard Brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked 16 1-drops packed in here, guys. We got all 4 Faerie Dreamthief. That Surveil's going to go the extra mile because we actually have Stalactite Stalker in here as one of the 1-drops too. It's a 1-1 with Menace, and at the beginning of your end step, if you descended this turn, you put a +1/+1 counter on Stalactite Stalker, which I do believe it's going to be very easy to go ahead and descend in here, especially when we're pairing this with Snarling Gorehound as well, all 4 of them. 1 mana, 1/1 with Menace. Whenever another creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield under your control, you surveil 1, which is a lot of creatures in here. So, and surveil, like, always goes that extra mile, you know? Also rocking Greedy Freebooter in here, 1 mana, 1/1. When it dies, you scry 1 and you create a treasure token. Beautiful. That's going to come in handy, which we'll see why in just a second. A couple Tenacious Underdogs because it's a powerhouse of a card, but also it's a card that we don't mind like sacrificing to other things. We don't mind blitzing this out of the graveyard, stuff like that, right? So Homicide Investigator made the cut. It's a 4 of in here. It's a 2 mana, 2/2, and whatever one or more non-token creatures you control die, you investigate. Unfortunately, this ability triggers only once each turn, but it's still a pretty good ability and a good way to just like have extra clues that we can eventually sacrifice to some specific creatures, which we'll go over in just a second, but it's going to be no surprise, you know what I mean? Fanatical Offering made the cut as a 2 of, potentially restock our hand. The map token goes a long way as well. Have Extract the Truth in here to get rid of enchantments. Honestly, I feel like this deck is going to be a great target for the temporary lockdown style of effects. And Extract the Truth happens to be an alright card. So it's a 2 mana sorcery, and it has that choose 1. And then the bottom ability is target opponent sacrifices an enchantment. It'd be pretty sick to, if they do go temporary lockdown and pick up like all of our 1 mana cards, we go Extract the Truth. But it's only a 1 of in here, so we do have ways to actually grab it out of the build. Case of the Stashed Skeleton, which is actually why I have a huge variety as well. A lot of different 1-ofs, a lot of 2-ofs in here. Case of the Stashed Skeleton, when it's solved, it has that sacrifice this case. Search your library for a card, put it into your hand, then shuffle. So hopefully we can just find whatever we need, including if it is that Extract the Truth. Also, if there's no enchantments to pick up, by the way, guys, this does have a top ability too. Target opponent reveals their hand. You may choose a creature, enchantment, or planeswalker card from it. Then that player discards that card, which just like isn't a bad card at all, is it? A couple Bitter Triumphs. Is this enough removal? No. But it's totally going to do a thing in here. And if we are discarding something, we wouldn't mind discarding like a Tenacious Underdog or something. You know what I mean? One of those 1-ofs that I wanted to bring up is actually Nightclubber. It's a 3 mana 2/2, and when it ETBs, creatures your opponents control get -1/-1 until end of turn. And it also has a blitz for 2 and a black. So it's like pretty much the same casting cost. You blitz this out and it gets that haste. It replaces itself. It's this exact same concept as blitzing out an underdog, except on Nightclubber, it could be a pretty sick tempo play where you weaken all of your opponent's cards and then full swing, and now they don't have like any great blocks or something like that, right? Especially if we are trying to go wide with our 1 mana cards. But also, Nightclubber could be pretty good against a specific go wide builds if they didn't buff up their creatures yet. You could potentially hit a lot of 1/1 goblins, you know what I mean? Okay, all 4 Braids, Arisen Nightmare. Is anyone surprised? No. This has got to be one of my favorite 3-drops to build around, man, and I built around it a lot at this point. I think it's going to go a really long way in here. So many like artifacts and stuff to sacrifice, so many like just creatures in general that we don't mind sacrificing to. So the extra draw on the Braids happens to be really good, especially when you pair it with cards like Sheoldred, which unfortunately we have 2 of on the top end. Even though I called it low ball mono black, I still think having a top end here is going to be pretty important. Also rocking a Massacre Girl as well, since creatures you control have Wither and we plan on attacking with creatures all the time. That Wither could be really, really menacing for the opponent. More removal, Pylon, as a 2 of. Now, is this enough removal? No, probably not, but still. Pylon has that Convoke, and I do plan on having creatures out there. So yeah, our creatures can help cast this, destroy target creature or planeswalker as well. And then you also get that Surveil too, so potentially more ways to descend. Or maybe you're surveilling like Tenacious Underdog into the grave too. That's something that you don't mind. 21 total land, is it going to be enough? I'm not really sure, honestly. All right, guys, over here in the honorable mentions, just remember your choice spot removal is important, so choose whatever you want. So I have Cut Down over here, and Spiteful Hexmage almost made the cut too. All right, guys, we're doing our dandies to try to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video. Maybe we'll make some changes to the list there before I upload it to you, so look forward to that. Let's go ahead, hop into some ranked, and see how we do. Okay, we'll see if we can get right into that first game, but in the meantime, what am I expecting from the list? I don't know, honestly. I want it to be good so bad, but I'm not really sure if it's gonna be good, you know what I mean? Opponent goes first. This is a good hand. I don't mind this hand at all. Alright, we'll keep this. I like it. With only 21 land, we're hoping to not draw swamps for a little while, right? This week, for some reason, I'm struggling to briefly go over the deck. I'm getting carried away a little bit. Hopefully it's still short enough of intros for everybody. I guess, like, you know, 2 months ago, a deck like this, I would have spent like 11 to 12 minutes going over it. So I guess, like, overall, we're doing a little better there. So Extract the Truth could totally get rid of one of these Commanos, but probably just a case of the Stash Skeleton for the turn, right? We'll swing with the Stalactite Stalker. We'll continue to curve out here and get the Braids down next turn, hopefully. The Commando flips. Yeah, if it was one Commando, maybe we would have considered Extract the Truth, but I really doubt it. Adeline's horrific to get that extra counter with. All right. We do have the Menace on the Skeleton, so that will get through. Forget with the Braids, we could totally sacrifice this enchantment, but they could also, like, prevent that by sacrificing their Commando, which I don't think they would want to. We do have Pylon available for the turn if we want to remove the Adeline. We get the full swing. We have the Surveil. No, we won't get the full swing. We have to tap one of these. Bitter Triumph open too. Oh, this has Menace as well. Are we gonna die next turn? Whatever. Let's swing. Let's swing and continue to curve out. Like, this is our turn 3. The fact that we're wondering if we're gonna die next turn happens to be really sad to me. So let's see. To solve this at the beginning of your end step. Okay. So I guess getting rid of the Skeleton is still fine here. They might get rid of their 1/1, but then we'll solve the case next turn. And the Skeleton can't block anyways. I think it could have been an extra way to get through. I don't know. Good blocks into Etching. Hopefully the block actually happens and it's not going to be like a surprise monstrous rage, which this does kind of feel like the deck that would have that. Okay, so we got a good block, but we're down to 7 now. Intrepid Adversary. Nice. Playing that out. Ooh. Sheoldred. Sheoldred's a pretty good draw. I was going to say we're going to need to keep our removal open, like literally all of it. Because we'll have Bitter Triumph and Pylon. But like Sheoldred, though, if we sacrifice the case, they'd have to sacrifice Etching for us not to draw. That'd be worthwhile. Or should we just keep the removal? My apologies, opponent. I am thinking, buddy. That's really tough. I feel like the riskier play is the Sheoldred, but if we can get established and survive just one more turn... Okay. I say we risk it. Sheoldred was an excellent draw, dude. Unfortunately, even though that's solved now, we are going to sacrifice it to attempt the draw, or maybe they sacrifice their Etching, which would still be pretty good for us. So we got the draw. We do gain life there. Not terrible, huh? They do find their 4th. Is it going to be Intrepid Adversary number 2? They go for the full swing. A block there. We don't want to take the 6, right? I'm going to block there. They want Sheoldred off the board. Trading into the Adeline is really good for us, huh? If we take 7, we could die. Burn or anything like that. So a trade into the Adeline is best case, right? Or do we jump the Adeline? Oh man, that's probably much better. We go like this. I guess burn could still take out the Sheoldred though. But then it's burn that's not hitting our face, huh? Okay, let's try this. So we chumped the Adeline for the turn. We're at 7. And now Sheoldred's set up to gain us more life on our draw too. That's definitely where they'd want to burn. Oh, recommission. Nice. Opponent pay that too. All right. Cool stuff, man. All right. So luckily we do have removal for that adversary, which we'd want to do on their swing so they don't just like recommission at the beginning of their next turn. Extract the Truth is available for the turn too. But we're going to want to just keep both of our removals open. I would say, right. 1, 2, 3, 4. We start with Bitter Triumph. Get rid of the Extract the Truth. We could extract Truth for the turn too. Maybe we get rid of a land. We'll have enough here. We don't need all 5. No attacks. Is that too risky? No, it actually isn't, because we could just draw another land, or maybe they get rid of one of their lands too, which would be pretty good for us actually. Since they only have 4 and they probably want all 4. No, they go for the sacrifice. All right. So we'd want to start with Bitter Triumph and pile on after the blocks here. Excuse me, guys. Okay. I don't know whose game this is. I think this is anyone's game easily, huh? It looks like they're going for the swing. Oh, should we have taken out the Adeline before the swing? Probably. Still pretty good, though. Still pretty good blocks overall. Which I suppose we actually go into the blocking step here. We're going to hit the Adeline with the Bitter Triumph, then tap all of our creatures to take out the Intrepid Adversary, right? Okay. So we start with Bitter Triumph. We don't want to take the 3, so I'm going to get rid of the Extract the Truth. No, I'll get rid of the Braids, actually. So discard a card. Adeline, Braids. Hopefully they don't find removal for our other Braids. Either way, we don't have a lot to sacrifice anyways. Gonna be pile on. The Surveil is pretty good here. Pile on the Adversary. There we go. Good stuff, man. Ooh, okay, Nightclubber and the Gorehound too. I actually don't mind either of these, but I'm going to send the Gorehound because I feel like we could see a little bit better things right now. Yeah, Nightclubber will go ahead and get rid of the other human, or if they end up playing like another adversary or something from hand, or bringing it back. Yep, so the Nightclubber is going to be pretty good here. Oh no, they do have the 2. They totally have the 2. Because Helping Hand was only 1 mana. That was good, opponent. Good stuff. Let's see. How do we want to do this? That's actually really good. That's really good for the opponent. We could go for the full swing. We blitz this in. We're probably safe enough to attempt this blitz, right? That's 6, that's 9. So we swing. We're going to force them to sacrifice their 1/1. We want Braids to activate first to make sure we sacrifice the Nightclubber. GG, opponent. Oh, buddy. We also could have sacrificed a land if we wanted them to have less land too. A really interesting Boros deck list from the opponent there, huh, guys? Pretty neat. Pretty neat. Like a different version of Boros for sure. I really liked the Intrepid Adversary. Like being able to bring back that adversary and whatnot from the grave multiple times. That was pretty cool stuff. We had a lot of options. You guys saw how important our spot removal there was too, where we only have 4 pieces and we actually had 2 pieces of spot removal. The pile-on was really good. Okay, opponent goes first. I guess, right? Yeah, we can't complain about this. I was trying to think of like how slow the hand actually is if we're up against aggro, which it does look like we are going to be up against some. But I don't think we can successfully complain about this hand, you know what I mean? Like, it could be pretty slow with the offering, but at least maybe we'll get a block in and then sacrifice. Like, they don't want us to ramp off the freebooter, so they don't take the swing with the inspector, which isn't terrible for us. By calling human on the cavern, they don't have a red source open to pop one of the artifacts for their goblins this turn too, so actually works out in our favor. Like, they're gonna go blood token. They also might not have had the Gleeful Demolition in hand, so. A second Fanatical Offering. Yep, we just keep this open and we see what happens. We could attempt the swing too, but no. That's much better to just keep it back, block, then use Fanatical Offering. We might not even have a block here, though. They might just hold it all back until they're set up enough. War Leader's Call. All right. So they swing, I can imagine. Oh, they do not swing. Well, I'll take the ramp on the freebooter. We get a map token. We draw 2. The ramp right into Sheoldred, and hopefully Sheoldred doesn't die next turn then. I like Homicide Investigator. There's a reason it's a 4 of in here, but I don't know if that's... Well, okay, I'll keep it. We should see it for the day to make sure we can actually play it too. All right, turn 3 Sheoldred. Does it die? I would say no. I'm leaning towards no. I think this is totally worth the ramp, and getting Sheoldred down and established is pretty good. Boros doesn't have too much removal packed in. Some of them are rock and destroy evil, but not all of them, so it does look like Sheoldred survives the turn. Gonna have to figure this out, huh? Nightclubber just doesn't do too much now that the War Leader's Call is on the board, unfortunately. Looks like they're full tapping for the Warden. Okay. Well, more mana off the top. We don't mind seeing it. We have to consider ourselves in danger for sure. The question here is what do we want to establish? Do we want to get Fanatical Offering down with the Investigator just in case they do find removal for the Sheoldred? Because now that they have 5 creatures, the case of the train, whatever that case is called, can easily take care of Sheoldred now. So maybe we keep Fanatical Offering open instead. Do that. And we could swing. We could. I'm thinking, opponent. 1 second, buddy. How risky would a swing be? Do we just die next turn if we swing? There's a good possibility of dying next turn. So I suppose we don't. Even though it's good damage. We should probably play it as safe as possible here. I'll keep the Fanatical Offering open. More so as a tempo play if they decide to target one of these creatures. But also sacrificing Investigator to it isn't that bad, I guess, right? Down to 14. Might start with the clue, it looks like. Oh no, they're going to start with the tap, actually. So they're going for their own setup. They want to go in the air here. They want to keep the bat untapped so they can continuously swing in the air if that's their goal. Oh. They tapped the Warden. I guess they're going for a full setup then, just waiting for next turn. I'm surprised by that. They sacrificed the clue. Because, yeah, this would have had Flying Vigilance. It would have been a great swing in the air. Down to 12. At that point, if that was their plan, we probably should have swung with this Sheoldred. An extra 4 getting through that last turn actually would have been really good. 3rd mana comes down. Is it going to be... nothing? Swing for 2. Okay, so they keep 2 things back. I mean, this could have been a much worse turn for us, huh? We'll go ahead, get rid of the map token, see what we draw. Yeah, luckily no removal for our creatures, so we didn't have to end up sacrificing either of those. And the Fanatical Offerings just end up playing into each other, so. Okay. So we're back up to 22. They kept 2 back on the ground to make sure they could double block Sheoldred if that's what it came to. Underdog Blitz isn't terrible. And we do take the double block away if we play Nightclubber for the turn. And a couple extra blockers too. Alright, you know what? I didn't risk it last turn, and maybe I should have. This turn, I'm going to risk it. Since we're up to 22 as well, and the blitz, on, like the draw here, is going to be pretty good. Alright, that's a 2-1 and... yeah, a 2-1 and a 1-2. If they end up blocking here, they get a bat in the air. They don't have the double block into Sheoldred anymore, and we still have 2 creatures to play for the turn. This is it, guys. This is where we risk it. Let's do this, man. Oh, they do have 3 open mana, though, so... so I guess it could be something. I'm already in on this play. I'm already in on risking it. Resolute Reinforcement. Nice. Okay, so those are actually going to be 2/2s then. It does look like our Sheoldred is out of this equation, but luckily we're taking out a lot of their creatures along the way too, so. We'll get a clue off the Investigator. The draw off of Clubber will happen after Sheoldred's death, and we're still going to get a couple blockers down too. Yeah, I really wish I would have swung with that Sheoldred last turn, because technically... oh! We're going to get 4 through here. How do I want to get this... oh. I was going to say, what order do we want to do things here? But wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, they must have counted lethal here. Okay, well, we're going to get some surveils off then. So, Gorehound first, and then Dreamthief. Surveil twice. Okay, we don't need more land, that's for sure. Yeah, with a couple blockers, I don't need another Homicide Investigator either. At this point, we're just looking for... well... yeah, no, I don't know what we're looking for. I guess some removal wouldn't be bad. We get the Blitz. We get the Clue. Okay, Pylon. There we go. We can't play it this turn, unfortunately, but the opponent needs a really good turn here, and I suppose we could still be in danger. See, we have the Chump blocker in the air. They go for that full swing. Evangelist buffs everything. So with the opponent at 6, they have 9, 15, 21 damage. We definitely want to chump. At that point, it's 15 getting through. Are we dead off of a War Leader's Call? No, I don't believe so. Right? So we accept this. We accept the rest, yeah. Keep the Gorehound back just in case. Down to 7. Yeah, I don't think that War Leader's Call can do 7 to us with 1 card in hand and 6 on the board here. Now, the big question is it just going to be... well, it looks like it's just going to be Swamp. It's going to be Pile On the Warden, right? This could still be spot removal for the opponent. So technically, okay, Stalactite Stalker isn't bad. I suppose I'll keep that on top. I'm not really sure. We don't know if we win this turn, because this could be spot removal for the Sheoldred. But we still just go for it, right? We still just go for the full swing. Or do we just swing with Exact, keep a blocker on the ground? We'll swing with Exact. Resolute Reinforcements. Oh no, guys. Oh no. That's perfect. Perfect for the opponent. Down to 7. We still have a draw with the Clue, and they don't have a double block into Sheoldred, so it's still around. They're going to take out the Investigator, though, so we would have gotten 1 through. Keeping the blocker back was good for us. Going to get another blocker down. We have Clue to gain 2, or blocker on the ground. It's blocker on the ground, right? Oh no, guys, this is not great. This is not great. Land, okay. Oh wait, it's a Mirex though. So we're gonna be taking an extra 1 here. 2 in the air, 3 in the air. Evangelist buffs everything. No, we died, guys. We died. Oh no. Oh, I wonder if there's a better way to play that out. Those reinforcements were perfect, huh? And the Evangelist could have been a really good target too. GG opponent. I truly believe that could have been anyone's game. It kind of felt like we were there. Kind of felt like we were there a few times, but the opponent kept pulling it back. Oh, of course I had fun. Very nice plays from the opponent. The Resolute Reinforcements, both of those came in handy so much, dude. Such a powerful card. It's no wonder we see it in so many different builds, too. Like, just being able to flash in. That was their last card, too, huh? I feel like we can't even consider that luck because, like that was only 2 of them. That's very likely a 4 of in, like, all the Boros builds. So we really, realistically can't even consider it like that they got lucky, especially when it looks like they flooded out a little bit, too. What did they end up with there at the end? Like 8 or 9 mana? I wasn't keeping count, but yeah, really good game, opponent. We have a nice lineup here, and we're going to start with that Dreamthief, of course, but then it's going to be Investigator, I would assume, over the Underdog. I don't mind seeing the 4th right away to make sure we actually, like, holy cow, dude, we have one heck of a 1, 2, 3, 4 punch in this hand, so let's make sure we have that 4th when it comes time. With a Worldly Gaze. A Rubble Belt Maverick in the grave. Okay. Okay. So we'll take the 2. So Underdog trades a little better, but I don't plan on the trade. We're just gonna get Investigator down and set up that Braids next turn. We're gonna stay on track here. We are likely to sacrifice that Dreamthief to the Braids when it comes time, unfortunately. Tribute to the World Tree, huh? Oh, they don't accept that trade, though. Okay. If they don't accept that trade, maybe I swing. Yeah, let's full swing. They don't know what's in hand, too, so maybe... Yeah, we get through. Very nice. All right. Braids coming down. Keep the Investigator around. Pop the Dreamthief. See if they pop the Scout. Nope. Down to 11. Stalactite Stalker in hand, too. Nice. We got really nice synergies packed in, man. Everything seems to work really well. This Pain land is really hurting the opponent, dude. Like, they had to pay 2 for the tribute last turn. Like, the Pain land looks devastating. Some tap land. Once this Sheoldred hits, dude, we're feeling pretty good. The Cobbled Lancer. Cool. And tribute gets the draw, too, because it has the 3. Very nice, opponent. So we have a lot of options here. Like, for example, we could play the Stalker and then use the Dreamthief ability to draw. We could play Underdog and Stalker. We could play Underdog, draw off the clue. They have much better trades this time around. It's very likely that we're just going to go Sheoldred. Yeah, we should just go Sheoldred and then sacrifice the clue, right? Get that draw. GG opponent. Yeah, I mean, like, we were popping off with those synergies, and apparently they didn't have any style of tempo for the Sheoldred, right? Heck yeah, I had fun. The game has been very concerned for our well-being over, like, the last week, guys. I keep making that joke, but it's been asking me that so much. All right. Let's keep the ball rolling, huh? We're about 29 minutes into the recording. Just beautiful, beautiful synergies overall. Oh, heck yeah. There's that low ball side of things that I like to see. I'm going to start with Gorehound. No. Stalactite Stalker. Because we can start getting this buffed as soon as next turn. Ooh, second Stalactite Stalker. That's pretty good. We'll start with that swing. Get this down. And go Dreamthief to make sure we get that Surveil. Wait a minute. Descend is non-land, right? time, no, a permanent card. Okay, I'll send it then. Totally fine. Yeah, any permanent. I guess we don't play with it enough, huh? If I didn't remember that. Really? Oh no. Opponent, come back. Come back. I want to play that one out, buddy. Well, okay. Hey, I'll take the victories, man. They're hard to come by. We're about 30 minutes into, so we still have time for like 1 or 2 more. Totally down. Let's go, man. Let's keep rolling. And we don't have to talk as much about the deck at the end, too, since I kind of rambled at the beginning on accident. Still some stuff to go over, though, I'd say, from these matches. All right, let's give this a shot. With 21 land, we might have trouble getting, like, the Sheoldred on the board on 4. Well, especially on 4 with this hand, but you never know. There might be a case for 22 land with what we've been seeing, by the way. Homicide Investigator or Case of the Stash Skeleton. Probably Case of the Stash Skeleton. Since we went first, the skeleton really gets by. It really starts to do a lot of damage. Like, if it goes 3 turns in a row of just swinging and the opponent doesn't want us to solve the case or something, like, it's just not bad. Or just, like, our menacing things getting through, right? Freebooter isn't terrible. Probably Investigator for the turn. Menace gets through for 3, and then it's, yeah, Investigator. We want to make sure we spend all the excess mana. Might be a perfect example of a game where we wouldn't mind 22 land. Oh, Dragon Engine. Very nice. Oh, another 4-drop. Not good. Do have a double... They do... Yeah, they do have a double block now, so if they do that, pressure token off of that. This has first strike, though. Yeah, the first strike would take care of it first. If we go Investigator number 2, we get double the amount of clues. They block the... Yeah, full swing. Yeah, if they block Investigator, then the menacing creatures get through. If they double block one of the menacing creatures, then the other creatures get through. So it's still like a full swing, and then we're doubling down on clue tokens. So there's 3. All right. So 3 gets through, double the clues, and land off the top would be really, really good for us. Oh, Jund. Oh, Jund Mishra. Okay. Okay, then. Sure, no blocks, no blocks. We're probably in danger, dude. We don't have removal in hand. Hey, 3rd mana. All right. We're in trouble, dude. We're in so much trouble. Okay, so full swing's not worth it here. Keep 1 back. They meld next turn, no matter what. Yeah, because even if we draw, the only thing we could see off the top is a pylon, and there's only 2 of them in here, and then we'd have to tap all of our creatures anyways. So we shouldn't risk it, right? Watch, we don't risk it, and pylon's chilling on top. Oh yeah, dude, we're dead. We're so dead here. Oh, lagging a little bit. I'm sorry, opponent. Get on through, get that Braids down. We'll go ahead and solve the case. That way we can at least find the pylon when we need it. Also, if we're doing the token, we don't get the clue off the Investigator. That's noteworthy for sure. All right. Hey, Envoy. Holy cow, dude. It's been like 2 years since I've seen you. So what do they want to do? They want to make sure... So -1/-1 doesn't kill our creatures. So they're still going to do that, though, to prevent some blocks. Oh! We're dead. I wasn't even paying attention to our... Oh, we're like super dead. I wasn't even looking at our health. I was just like, for some reason, assuming we were alive there. I guess at that point, since we were going to die, we would have much rather wanted to take that risk to see the pylon on top. And like, bro, Arena, can you please let me flip my deck around at the end of the match, please? I really want to see What's on top? Like, what if it was the pylon, huh? I guess, wait a minute. No, we drew at the end, right? So it was the Stalactite Stalker. Never mind. Yeah, we drew off the braids, but still, I still would have liked to see what was on the top there. That was a good example of a match where, like, spot removal, man, it's important. And so, like, we only have 4 in the deck. So, the matches have been pretty fast. We're going to push it a little bit and go one more, and then we'll go ahead and talk about the list one more time. Whew, hope you guys are enjoying the low ball mono black aggro. Guys, hey, while I have you here, make sure you check out that description where we got that Discord link as well as that Patreon link too, if you're interested in supporting the channel that way. While today's video isn't a suggestion from anywhere, the main benefit from the Patreon that I always bring up is I always prioritize patron suggestions. Definitely check that out if you're interested. All right, we'll keep this. Yeah, that last game was a case for more spot removal and a case for more land as well. So we definitely want to talk about that here at the end. But I don't want to get rid of that low ball style, right? Like, I don't want to get rid of 1-drops to do all that. So we see our third. Easy peasy. We get that swing through. Sheoldred. I should keep you. I should keep you on top, right? Okay, unfortunately, we won't get the descend on the Stalker. But we shouldn't get rid of Sheoldred, right? Oh, yeah. Right? Do I play everything? Crap. Okay, I still play everything though, right? Yeah. We'll keep Sheoldred on top. It's a little awkward there, right? But that's like a card that I shouldn't send. Because we need it so often, you know what I mean? They buff the Warden. Alright, so full swing for sure. We're going for it. Braids comes down. Dreamthief. Now we got the Stalker buff. What's scary about all these Boros lists is like just how fast they are. They go turn 3 and we're like, well, are we going to die next turn? But very, very similar to mono red aggro, right? Turn 3 happens and it's just like, well, are we going to die on turn 4? And unfortunately, the answer is usually yes. So like you have to do everything possible to stop that, which is why we're seeing so many early board wipes and so many other decks that aren't aggressive. So go ahead and keep back here. Oh, we didn't get the descend. Yeah, that, again, I keep doing that. The Braids happens at the beginning of your end step, and so does the Stalker's ability at the beginning of your end step. I keep making that mistake in my head. So the Menace gets by. I think everything gets by here. So I'm going for it. And then Sheoldred drops. I think they take the 5. They don't know what's in hand, so... And they really don't want to risk, like, Warden onto Braids. And then, like, if the... Yeah. Yeah, if it was some kind of, like, special combat trick or something, I'd be shocked by a block here. Down to 9. Sheoldred drops as a little surprise, a little bonus here, huh? And I will gladly get rid of the Dreamthief to gain some life. GG opponent. It's just, once again, just like the synergies and how it lines up. And then, like, we kept that Sheoldred for a really good reason. And we saw the 4th mana right on time, too. Total deck win rate today, 66%. Not half bad, huh? Out of 6 games. Feels good. Yeah. All right. Eventually, we'll get back up to the bottom of Platinum. Sit pretty there where I like to sit. Eventually, we'll just accidentally get there, especially if we're playing builds like this, huh? Yeah, felt pretty good. Low ball mono black. All right. We play low ball red sometimes, and it's just like way too many 1-drops. But like mono red, it makes sense. You just like, oh, check out my 36 1-drops. And mono black, on the other hand, I feel like it's a pretty interesting concept having 16 1-drops in mono black. And you know, like none of them's cut down too. So that leads me to some of the changes that we could potentially make. Now, if we go up 22 land, like, first of all, was the Massacre Girl worth it in here? I'd say probably still, right? Creatures you control have Wither when you're swinging in with a lot of creatures. Happens to be a pretty good ability. And then if you end up losing some of your creatures too, you're trying to get your other synergies off with like Investigator and, Investigator. And like Descending and whatnot too for like the Stalactite Stalker. So I think the one of Massacre Girl is still pretty good. I'm not sure how much we end up drawing off of Massacre Girl. Oh my goodness, that's so hard for me to say sometimes. Yeah, I'm not sure how much we end up drawing off of this, but still, I still like the one of, and it kind of comes down to that Case of the Stash Skeleton, that solved ability again. Having a bunch of one-ofs in here is pretty good when you do end up solving to grab one of your removals, or like your Nightclubber, depending on what deck you're up against, or like you really need to remove an enchantment that the opponent played, or like, yeah, grab Massacre Girl and like full swing or something. That's all a lot of mana. That's all really expensive. Now, we do have ramp on the freebooter, but that's realistically it. Like, you know, Fanatical Offering drops a map, not a treasure, for example. That's not extra ramp there. And Investigator is dropping clues. You have to spend mana for the clues. So I think like the big thing here is going up to 22 land and hoping that we don't end up flooding out, because like overall we saw the mana pretty well today. At the same time, it kind of feels like maybe we got lucky seeing the mana when we needed to see the mana too, right? The Pylon, I'm actually a little bit surprised at how well the Convoke worked for us. But I guess realistically in a deck like this, yeah, the Convoke's going to work very often, especially when you swing with some creatures and there's other creatures where you actually just want to hold back to make sure that they don't die, like Investigator, for example. And then you're swinging in with your menacing creatures instead. And then you still have like 2 mana open and an Investigator and a Sheoldred. And then that's what your Pylon does for you. And then Surveilling is like always good. Like Surveil just does so much for us. But you don't mind surveilling like an Underdog to the grave or something too, so I don't really want to drop an Underdog either. Actually, just like the Blitz cards in general. So what would I drop? It kind of just, it felt good enough to not drop anything. Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. Like, honestly. So what could you change potentially? Like, if you don't have some of the rares, for example, then go up more spot removal. You're not going to be mad about that at all. If you don't have some of the rares and whatnot too, and you don't want to go up more spot removal, maybe you're not seeing as much that you need to spot remove, then go up that extra mana, and I don't think you're going to be mad about that either. And if you do go up that extra mana and you're not going up anything else, then I also don't think you're going to be mad about a third Sheoldred. And it's the same concept if you don't have like the Massacre Girl here. You could just not play it and play with a third Sheoldred instead and be very satisfied regardless. You know what I mean? Overall, I think that's it. I don't think I'm going to change anything personally. I think it played out very nicely overall. Okay, guys, made it this far into the video for real. Y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate ya. Like I said at the beginning of the last match there, make sure you check out that description where we have that Discord link as well as that Patreon link if you're interested in supporting the channel that way. Definitely let me know in the comments, what would you add or take out? Did you enjoy the list? I know I did. I love playing with a whole bunch of one drops all the time. Honestly, we probably could take out a couple Homicide Investigators and go up even more one drops. Now, the Investigator seemed pretty good though, and like the way you lose your creatures, you get the clue. Now you can use the clues, you sacrifice those to the Braids and stuff. Just like the synergies just felt really, really good. And there's a reason that the opponents ended up conceding a lot there too. So, okay, guys, hey, I will see you in the next video.